Keep playing.
Welcome back to another episode of Eagles Weekly. Here are your hosts, Brett, Haas, Mac, and Jack. How we feeling, fellas?
Damn, just got the push notification. Eagles Weekly Live. Anyways, welcome back to Eagles Weekly, episode 34. I'm one of your hosts, Brett Ryder of Eagles Daily, joined today by international marketing guru Mac Hutchinson and our ACC athlete, Jack Cyberlick. Before I ask how we're doing, boys, I just want to note that I just absolutely fucking crushed that intro. Did not mess up, didn't say any wrong words, so credit to me. Brought to you by Eagles Shop. Make sure you check out Eagles Shop. Go to eags.shop to get all of your merchandise. Support the site, support the podcast, support the boys, or go to chestnutbill.com. Either one, your choice. Go there, buy some merch, wear it, and like I said, support the show, support the boys. Fellas, how we doing?
Want to know, buddy. Want to know. Chestnut Bill's looking a lot better than Chapel Bill right now. Just saying.
Yeah, 27. Not looking for the other Bill.
It does make you think. We already have a poll question. I'm gonna throw it up here real quick. My answer is no. I don't think he's in a boot. Doesn't seem like he's. You know what I mean? No.
I haven't heard anything else.
Listen, to the person who just posted this or asked this question, understand where you're getting the information from a burner account. There's nothing to it. I mean, even if he was in a boot, it's probably precautionary. It's probably whatever, but I wouldn't put any sort of stock into that. Especially, like Mac, you're going to practice, right? Like you're going this week.
Be at practice tomorrow morning.
So we'll have an update then. We'll know if
this is probably either, most likely just false or fake news.
Yeah.
But I'll report on all this tomorrow morning, and I'll be talking to Bill O'Brien also tomorrow. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and then the follow up here. There was nothing. I mean, he walked off the field and was on the court. There was no weirdness. I mean, if he really had gotten hurt, he played 3 quarters. They brought Grayson in because the score was so, lopsided that they were giving him reps at that. But I wouldn't rest easy tonight, PL. I'm gonna call you PL. I'm not sure what your username would equate to, but we're going to call you PL on this show. So PL, rest easy tonight. We'll get you some final answers tomorrow, but for tonight, don't put any stock into that. In terms of the game, I know a lot of people are worried, or I think one of the only concerns from the actual game is the running game, or lack thereof. I would worry about the running game as much as I would worried about Dylan Larkin in a boot, which is not much at all. The way that I see it, and Mac, you and I talked about that on our post game video that we posted on socials. They weren't really looking to showcase anything anyways. Like, I feel like the playbook itself was super vanilla. I think that they were just emphasizing the pass game and just letting Lonergan get any and every rep possible. Like, that's why you even saw that they were a lot of times, like especially in the second quarter when they were stalling out a lot, it was just because they were just ripping, passes on the first 3 downs and going 3 and out that way. And they were really letting him just kind of let loose and, get his feet wet, get acclimated to gameplay as opposed to anything else. Like there was no balance in the offense whatsoever. There really wasn't an opportunity for the running game to really get situated anyways. There really wasn't a lot of design runs. And to be honest with you, I don't think they wanted to really show any packages, any scheming. in terms of running. So I think that was very much on purpose. I mean, could be wrong. I mean, we'll definitely see this week if the running game struggles again. Then that's another topic. That's another thing to talk about for next week's show and see kind of how that translates. But as of now, I think that that's really not. I mean, that's being very nitpicky and kind of looking for something perhaps, but I don't think that there's really anything to take from that. That's kind of my takeaway from the negative potential running back fiasco.
I think you're right on saying that, Brett. I mean, we talked about this in our recap after the game, that we think that obviously Will Lying was doing this on purpose, trying to get Lonergan more comfortable, try to see what he can do out there on the field. I mean, it's been training camp. They want to actually see him do it in real game action. So they're obviously trying to really get the passing game going. I think at the end of the day, you have to say, okay, BC put 555 yards on Fordham, whether that's running or passing. It's over 500 yards of offense. It's great that they put up 458, yards passing, and you're concerned maybe that, only was 97 on the ground, but, they clearly the passing was working. But I think at the same time you can, be cautious there and go, okay, when you're looking, we'll get into Michigan State, later in the show, but like Michigan State, pretty good run defense. That is going to be the talking point and the key to that, one of the keys to that game as well. So, I mean, I guess it's obviously concerning because the level of play goes significantly up this week, but I think it's less of, okay, it's concerns, like it's more of still a question mark going into Michigan State. But I think overall, I mean, just great performance. I mean, the biggest takeaway from the Fordham game was they blew them out 66 points on a lesser opponent. That's what you're supposed to do at home. At the end of the day, Lonergan, great start. Even Grayson, I mean, between the two quarterbacks, 5 touchdown passes. So either quarterback, obviously going to Michigan State, you're comfortable with, you're excited about. So, that's less of a concern than all these other things. And then I think my biggest takeaway, besides all those things that I think were very positive, was special teams, man. I think special teams, they started off being a little shaky, but I think we really got to see a massive improvement from last year, especially with the punting game. We saw a 63-yarder, which was like would have been unheard of last year. And Seamus, Florio really, I think his average was 47 yards a punt this game. So that was a massive difference. And you actually had to see that in those first 2 quarters where they went like they had to punt it 3 times in a row, where that was a difference maker. Like last year, that could have flipped. Either one of those punts could have flipped it towards Fordham, but every time they were pinning them back, at least at the 20 at the very least. So that was exciting to see, and you're going forward in this year not having to worry about at least the punting game. And that was a massive step forward, I think, for year 2 under Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. I get what you guys are saying about, the passing game was working. I mean, they threw the ball 40 times, I think, on Saturday. But I mean, even so, like they gave Turbo Richard the ball 16 times. He couldn't get further than 8 yards in any one carry. I think it's not nothing, given that this Florida team went 2-10 with an FCS schedule last year. I mean, I don't know if they're vastly improved from that mark or not, but yeah, given like you're away at a big time opponent next week, it's going to be important to more so than even at home to, I think, establish some semblance of a running game. You're not going. I think against a team like Michigan State, you might not be able to dump it off to Lewis Bond across the middle every time the way you could against like a less athletic Fordham. So I think I walked away from that game a bit concerned, especially after they stalled a few times in the second quarter about the running game, because I mean it's 3 new starters on that offensive line. But I walk away from that game. I feel like we didn't really learn anything. We weren't supposed to. Like you guys said, it was a pretty vanilla game plan. We learned that Dylan Lonergan can throw the ball on Fordham, and I thought our receivers looked really good. But yeah, Mac, I think I agree with you. It's run game is still a bit of a question mark for me.
Sure.
Yeah, big question mark. And actually, Jack, I just want to say real quick, it is maybe a little more than a question mark. It is concerned because I think the one positive of it was there was 3 touchdown rushing touchdowns. So like,
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
people when it mattered most, like get the ball in the end zone. Which I mean, like FCS opponent, we shouldn't even be talking about that. Obviously, get the job done. But like, yeah, like what was it under 3 yards a carry? Like they rushed it. Like it wasn't like they didn't rush it. They rushed it like 39 times. So it's like, I think that. Yeah, we got to see better from the offensive line. I think overall they protected. I mean, that was a big question mark going into this game. How replacing 3 starters from last year? How did the O line do? I think pass protection really solid. I think
Great. I thought pass pro was great.
yeah, Larnigan only got sacked once, I believe. But yeah, the running game, they got to develop that. I think that's going to be a massive emphasis. So I'll try to report on that this week during practices. But yeah, question marks definitely on the running game. But it's nice that I think it really sits there because overall, we're probably not going to talk about Tim Lewis's defense because they were just like great from start to finish.
Yeah. I think Mac, like we said, like they had 3 rushing touchdowns, and there were a couple of times they had like 3rd and short. They had the 4th and 1. Like they got it when they needed it, but like you don't want that to be the extent of your run game against a 2-4 team. You know, like that's you want that against a really good power conference team, like saying like, oh, you know what, we didn't run the ball great, but we got the yards we needed to, and that's the kind of performance it felt like I think on Saturday in terms of the running game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of the pass protection, I thought they looked really solid. But yeah, I think we knew all along the Michigan State game would be that first litmus test of how good this team is, and I think that's exactly where we sit right now. So
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too that I'm looking at now is that 10 different receivers had a reception, on top of Lewis Bond's 11. Lewis Bond had a 92% catch rate, which is incredible because they get 11 catches. So, I mean, whatever that equates out to, you probably had, 12 targets. I mean, that's a great showing. And,
Lewis
he was awesome, man. And I understand that it's Fordham and, you should be able to go at will against Fordham. There were definitely nice moments though, especially, regardless of who the opponent was and the level of play it was, but there was definitely things that, were done in that game that were definitely positives that, I think are going to translate, over the course of a season. And the running game, of course, like it was definitely lackluster. Like I think they ran the ball 9 times in the first quarter, only 7 times in the second quarter, 12 in the third, and 11 in the fourth. So, I mean, they really didn't do the running game justice just in terms of, really, looking to make their mark, on the ground, especially when you do have, three capable running backs that all should be getting, multiple touches. Obviously Turbo having 16 for 48 yards. There is a cause for concern there. But let's be honest, like Fordham was stacking the box. They were selling out to stop the run, and BC just, really looked to just pass, and I think that it all comes back to not wanting to open up the playbook and not really wanting to really get into like schematic of their running games and kind of break that down. I think more so for them, they were just really looking to stay away from that. So instead of, how do we get around this, the types of looks that we're going to give a defense that's going to stack the box against us, I think that they just went the complete other way and they weren't showing it. They just any type of running was just very vanilla running plays, and they really just kind of left it at that. So like I said, like I'm gonna wait and see. I know that's kind of like a cop-out response, but I'm gonna wait and see for Michigan State before kind of deciding. We'll see. But and the other thing too, I know a lot of people were critical, or not even critical. I think a lot of people were just questioning, the line in general. I think this is a better line than people are realizing. Obviously they lost Ozzie and Drew Kendall, so there's going to be growing pains there or question marks there. But I really feel like a lot of people aren't really understanding that like Jude Bowery is like an all conference lineman. That Mac, I know that's your guy. And Logan Taylor is another animal too. So I mean, there are pieces there, and I do think that they're going to be able to figure it out. Not to mention, Turbo himself is, he's going to be, he's going to be a guy. Having Alex Brim back for like third down and passing situations, like that's really something that we kind of lacked last year a little bit. So having him back in that role is going to be massive. Especially like a veteran leader. And Jordan McDonald, like uh, people remember him last year. That's a guy who kind of came on and really did his thing. So I think as a whole, there's three running backs that I'm very confident in, and I feel like we are in good hands just in that. And that's not even bringing up Bo. Bo knows, right?
I think on that note, Brett, though, like, can we just say the future never has looked this bright before? Like you just said, Bo, they got some snaps there. Dawson Poe, who had freaking 96 yards on 3 catches. This is a guy that we've been talking about all summer camp, and he showed up, on Saturday. I believe that they actually played they got 14 true freshmen in, which is exactly what you want in a game like what it was on Saturday. Is get all your freshmen in, get your true freshmen in, the immediate impact freshmen in, because again, Bill O'Brien still only his year 2. He's trying to get guys that not only are like higher level guys, but like that fit his scheme, his mentality. All those different things, and you're excited about these young guys, man. I mean, even Reed Harris, he's only a sophomore. I mean, all these, Jaden Skeet, he's still got a few more years. I mean, this team. Then you think about Dylan Lonergan, and if he progresses, 3 years of eligibility there. So you're super excited about that. And I think for me overall, I mean, it's hard to nitpick when I think we put up the most amount of points since 2015 when we played Howard, which doesn't really even count. So from a BC fan's perspective, I mean, when he puts up 66, a lot of things are going right. And when you play 14 true freshmen, in your second year as a head coach, things are going right.
And here, DJ, I don't know if you missed it. Do we think they can stop the running game on Saturday? I say yes.
They got to find a way. Even if it doesn't work, you got to try it out. You got to figure.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about the running game. I think, like I just said, they have 3 very capable backs, 3 guys who have now have experience in the college ranks, and the idea that like the line is weak is I think that's a farce. I don't think that people are given these. And I get it. Like you lose Kendall, you lose Ozzy. Like there's going to be some sort of drop off, but I think that they got dudes up there still. It's not like they're like small. It's we just haven't seen them all yet. Outside of Jude and Logan Taylor. Like I understand, but no. To answer your question, DJ, yes, I think that they are going to step up the run game Saturday. I think that it's going to be a big emphasis on Saturday. I think that you're going to see a very balanced attack. Because I mean, we saw it against Fordham. We know they can basketball. We know like that part's fine. We've always known that. For me, I think the biggest thing from Saturday was if Dylan didn't look great. That would have been very worrisome, right? So we got that. The running game. I don't foresee that being an issue. I think that they were very vanilla in their attack, and I don't think they cared to establish the running game because you saw it. They knew that they could beat the absolute crap out of them through the air, and they weren't worried about. They didn't want to get tape out there either. I mean, Phil's not stupid. Phil's the Brown guy. He's a smart guy, so he knows the deal. He knows what's going on, and I think he understands. This was a glorified scrimmage, and the real test is Michigan State. Not to jump ahead. I won't jump ahead. We're not there yet.
I would say before we do jump ahead, I just want to give a shout out to because there's nothing to really nitpick on this side of the ball, which is defense. Tim Lewis from start to finish did. I think the interesting thing with Tim Lewis is that obviously we've talked about how deep the secondary is. I think it's the deepest group that they have. There's so much talent in the secondary.
In the secondary? Okay, yeah.
For Tim Lewis, for the BC defense. But what's interesting is that I was really interested to see how Tim Lewis started to do his blitz designs. And I think a lot of people thought, oh, we're going to stay very vanilla. I mean, you saw a few of these plays where Carter Davis was coming in from the backfield, going up and getting a sack. So I think you got to see some exciting things. I think you saw a little bit of a preview of how Tim Lewis is going to dial it up to kind of deal with that production loss from Ezuraku leaving, right? It's impossible to get 16 sacks again from a single person, but how does he line up Q Hutchins? Who does he line Q Hutchins with on the other side? How much does he bring the secondary down to help or blitz on the outside? So you're starting to see some of that. And I think that's exciting because for a fan, you're concerned about the D line, but overall, I mean, a lot of these young guys, again, on the line and the young guys on the linebackers did great on Saturday. So you're excited about this development. And then Tim Lewis being able to scheme it up to, maybe have a pretty solid defense this year. And it definitely makes some improvements from last year.
Yeah. I mean, Fordham didn't have the ball a ton. I mean, we scored 66 points on that, but so no one's going to jump off the stat sheet, but I thought they looked fun. I thought they looked pretty good. I mean, they had 8 tackles for loss. I thought Sidarius McConnell, he was in the backfield a couple of times. He looked really good. You saw the true freshman was Micah Amity. Is that his name? Who had the sack rate? I thought that was very positive way to sort of end the game. So I feel better about not that we learned a ton about them on either side of the ball, but I think I feel slightly better about that front seven than I did going into it. I mean, Bam had the pick 6, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, we knew the secondary would be, or should be one of the top in the ACC, but I walk away from this game feeling, I think, a bit better about the front seven than I did going into it.
Yeah. I think that you called it out, Mika Amity, I think it's the big thing, as, a true freshman to have impact like that on the line. Even if he doesn't start or have as many snaps going forward, the fact that we can develop him and he clearly has that talent ability is huge there. And I think there's one other name when we talk about true freshman impacts. I will say, to go back to the special teams, it was interesting to see this develop. Andy Quinn, the Irish kicker, the true freshman from Ireland, from the NFL Academy, he ended up doing the kickoffs from the game on, I think from the middle of the game on, and he was booming them into the end zone. So that's a nice thing to have and not worry about as a BC fan, just that if we need to kick it off and not have anyone have a chance of returning it, we can do that now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say absolutely nothing. I was trying to send a tweet out real quick.
Any notes on defense though? Because overall, I think there's something to say.
No, nothing to say in regards to the Fordham performance for the defense. You guys said it all. I mean, they barely. I mean, the secondary looks sick. I mean, they looked great. The pick 6 was awesome. My thing was, and Mac, we talked about this on the field, the field goal attempt, and how funny it is that my response to a field goal attempt was to take my camera out and record a video of said. That's where I was. That's where I was at. I'm like, I took my camera out, took a video of it to post it online.
It's a rarity for BC.
It's a rarity, and
just attempts alone.
The attempts and the chance that that could end up being funny was high. There was it was a little bit funny, right? It hits the crossbar and goes in, which I caught all of that. It's that's pretty hilarious in itself. Good kick though, good field goal. Converted the 3 points. That we are a third of the way. Think about that. We're a third of the way to the amount of field goals that we kicked that we converted all of last year. We only tried 5. Tried 5 field goals all season. I 13 games.
I got to mention it for a third time. Special teams did great. Luca Lombardo, that's the name I haven't said yet. At the end of the day, he was perfect, even though he might have not. It wasn't the flashiest in like the way you might want to see in it, but he had
Doesn't
12.
matter.
He had 12 points on Saturday, so
Yeah.
Can't complain there, my friends.
No shanked extra points, no wide lefts, no the punts. There was no negative 3 yard punts. There was no 20 yard off the foot punts. There was no bull crap. Um, I think if I'm correct me if I'm mistaken, I think Fordham had a return fairly early in the game that was like a little dicey at first. That got cleaned up very quickly. Um, so there wasn't like a ton of uh, badness going on. You know how it goes with our special teams. Regardless of the opponent, things can get a little wonky. That's kind of like that evens the playing field sometimes, regardless of the opponent. Our special teams will allow the opponent to stay in the games a lot of times, and it has in the past. And this weekend, it did not. And that seemed to all be cleaned up pretty quickly. I would like to meet the special teams coordinator, by the way. I
Matt
I
Thurin.
want to know how he kept his job. Like, what about like that's special talent right there. Like, I want to know like how you did that. How did you keep your job? Good for him. I listen. I'm not crapping on him. I'm not saying he deserved to lose it. None of that. I'm just very curious, based on the results of last year, how they brought him back. Like that is kudos to him for being able to stick around like that. And
I'll just say, can I just say a quick thing on that, Brett? Because I feel like Brett clearly, I mean, you saw just from Saturday, I think Bill made the right call on that. I think last year you saw Matt Turin, like he was given what he was given. And I think overall what Bill saw was on coverage and kickoffs, like he was a teaching coach that did a pretty good job on that. At the end of the day, the things that went wrong were just straight up couldn't punt, couldn't kick, which is what can the coach do about that. I think this year you're seeing, well, now that we have punters and we have Lombardo who's healthy again, like you're seeing that massive improvement there. And again, kickoff and coverage. I mean, we saw a block punt for the first time in a long time on Saturday as well. So I think overall that was what Bill, I think in the offseason was seeing, but that was another question mark because you felt going into this like, hey, if special teams doesn't really get their act together, it's going to be really tough to see Matt Turin come back. But you're very positive after Saturday to keep harping on special teams.
No, I mean I think in our world it's a conversation to have, right? Like it's something of note. If it improves, you do have to talk about it because it's not even like, oh, it was so bad last year. It's been bad for 15 years. So like let's be real here. But so when you do see some good things, you do have to bring it up. You do have to kind of shout it out and give credit where credit's due. Like that's what we do on this show. We credit good stuff, and they get a gold star. There were some actually for BC. There were a couple weird, or not weird. There were some questionable returns. Who was returning the punts? Yeah. Couple. I mean, but that's being nitpicky, right? But I mean, there's definitely there was a couple weird ones where it's like, oh, I wouldn't have returned that, but it's like I'm an old fat guy, like I shouldn't return anything, period. But who am I to question? Who or what selling returns?
No, I agree. There was a few things there, like against Fordham, maybe that's fine, but I always any special team saying I was squirming in my seat. So overall that was good. That was good to see. But yeah, you're again excited about the fact that it's just not a disaster that it was last year. I think you just got like relief from that game because if not confidence, because again, Larney got his first start. There was some ups and downs. I think the nice thing, I'll say one more thing about Larnigan is that it was actually good to see that he went almost 4 punts. It was like 3 punts in a row. and then there was a little like adversity there because like I think at the end there's that pressure there to score right before halftime, and then they were able to do that. So you got to see that resiliency too. So it was almost better that it wasn't just because then you might come after the game and be like, oh, just it was Fordham. Like, what can we say about it? The fact that like he struggled a little bit showed, hey, yeah, no, this is my first start, and then kind of again ended that half, really strong, and then built that momentum all the way through. And that second half was just like one of the best second halves scoring wise we've seen at BC like ever maybe. So it was really again super positive. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing too to remember is they like the way that they were able to move the ball at will, like regardless. I mean, it's a FCS opponent, it's a crappy FCS opponent, but like putting up 66 points after they put up 56 last year, right? Like Bill's feasting on these inferior opponents, which is like a very, very positive sign because we've seen the Holy Cross, we've seen Maine in 22, like we've seen them, allow these FCS opponents to like hang in the games. Like they really haven't put like a spanking on them, like they have the last 2 years prior. So really just like results wise, like that's what you want to see, right? Like that's the type of performance you want to see. Like if you're going to be a Power 4 team, like fucking act like it, like I went viral, shout out to me. I went viral because we didn't act like it against Holy Cross, and they, rightfully so, kind of were mocking Boston College like at that time, right? Like they were running off the field chanting ACC, among some other, colorful terms. But yeah, I mean, you go out there, you smack them, you have the red shirts in, like that's a red shirt game, right? Like that's one of the 4 games that you want to see the red shirts in.
Absolutely.
To kind of move it, to keep moving the ball, proverbial ball down the field. It was 52-3. Lonergan's still in the game. Something happens where I don't know if Bill had to call a timeout or what it was, but he's snapping. It's 52-3. And it's like the end of the third quarter, and he's snapping as like the quarterback in the offense, and like he's walking out to them. They're coming off the field towards him, and Bill's fucking losing it. It's 52-3. That's the type of stuff that I love to see. Like he doesn't care. It's like, of course, first of all, yes, we're running up the score. Second of all, like we want to be perfect. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's the type of mentality that I love to see. Is like Bill's pissed, like it's 52-3, and he's like furious. Like that was awesome to see.
It's a different mentality, man. That we've all talked about when Bill brings it here. It's the same thing when you see when Nick Saban at Alabama, the day after they won the national championship, is going 7:30 a.m. meeting, telling his coaches, "Hey, we're behind." It's kind of like that. But also when he talks about to his players, day by day, just doing every play by itself, execute it, and just go moment by moment and just try to improve on that. I mean, again, this is the stuff, it's high level in football intelligence and high level mentality. And you're seeing that on the field, and you're seeing it from your head coach. And yeah, that's the biggest thing that's been missing in the Heights for over a decade now, is that mentality of, hey, we're up 55. It matters more now than ever, because you're going to have that want to kind of lower your focus, but he's asking them to raise themselves a little bit higher there. So yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff.
And then we see Grayson come in the game. Grayson looked awesome. Like Grayson went 5 for 5.
190.
Real quick. 190. Had a touchdown. Yeah. Had a couple real nice passes in there. Like that's my backup quarterback, man. Like he looked good. And that's a very promising sign. Comes in, Grayson's a professional, dude. Like Grayson's gonna do what Grayson does, and that's a sight to see in itself. Really, was pleased with that. I'm really happy that like he kind of had like his little moment there, to kind of showcase that like he can still sling it. Like he's still in the conversation.
I think I know your guys' answer on this, but you're cool with him slinging it and doing his thing at the end of the game there, running up the score.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
he's QB2 now. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't know when he's going to get
you gotta get your snaps. Gotta get your
another
plays.
opportunity to
Yeah.
put film on him. So yeah, I love that for him. I mean, he
Yeah.
literally, I don't think he could have done anything any better, honestly. 5 for 5,
I mean-
190, tutty.
I mean,
Can't do
he
better.
had a real, I mean, he was doing shit for his guys too. Like he got Dawson Poe that touchdown at the end. Like
Yeah.
Dawson Poe's a freshman, and so Dawson Poe looks like he's going to be a receiver for us. For like, sometimes you can just look at someone and you can just tell like he's gonna be something. You know what I mean? Like
You're gonna
he
see more
looks
of him
like.
too. Even with that big three I was talking about, you're gonna see Dawson Poe out there.
I mean, Dawson Poe, he looks great in the 88 too. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think 88 is like a quintessential wide receiver number. Like if you're wearing 88, like you are going to ball. Like you are going to keep some cornerbacks up at night before you play. And Dawson Poe looks like he's going to be doing that for us. So I'm cool with it.
It's Duncan time, Brett.
Duncan time.
Say less, dude. Yeah, so just want to let everyone know we just signed it's starting out as a 6-figure deal. So really what it is, it's incentive laden. So it depends on how we do. It could go up to 7 figures, and if it does really well, we're looking at like an 8-figure, so like a $10 million sponsorship thing here. But starting out in the 6 figures, high 6 figures, mind you. But yeah, the Duncan next up, brought to you by Duncan. Make sure you go to Duncan and order any and all of their products. Duncan's still good. A lot of people like to crap on Duncan, but Duncan's good. But yeah, we're thankful to you, Duncan. So thank you, Duncan, for believing in us, for taking a chance on us, and really allowing us to kind of spread brand awareness for you. So we do appreciate that. Duncan up next. This week we have Michigan State, the Michigan State Spartans. This is like a weird recap or not a recap. This is like a weird projection and kind of talking about the next opponent, because I don't know about you guys, but the research that I did on Michigan State, like I'm going to be honest, like I can't get a read on them. Like it's like, I mean, we're going to find out very soon, but I don't know if they're good. Like, is that like,
I don't know if we're good either, Brett.
no, we're good.
I think both teams and both fans are asking the same question.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I can't, and like, I guess, like, let me do this. Aiden Childs, right? The starting quarterback. Is he good? Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't impressed with him last year.
He's talented.
He's talented, sure, but like, so is Phil Dracovic. Aiden Childs last year for Michigan State played all 12 games for them. Had 2,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Like, we'll see. We'll see if he really took that lead, because even in his first game this year, I mean, he was 17 or 23, $155. He had a touchdown, no interceptions. That's the key. And we talked about this off air, and it's funny because a lot of the stuff that we talk about off air, I'm like, this would be great. Like, we should just start recording now and like get this all on tape, because this is all good stuff, and this is the stuff we want to talk about. But that is going to be the key for this game, is can you get this guy to turn the ball over?
Yeah.
Because our defense, the strength is the secondary, far and away. It's not even, I don't even think there's any sort of conversation like what our strength is. Our strength is our secondary. Our linebackers are inexperienced. Our D line is very inexperienced. And that's not like a knock to say that they're not talented, but our secondary is nails. Like our secondary, we have probably one of the best secondaries in the conference, I would say. And I don't think that's like a biased thing to
It
throw
is.
out there.
It is.
It is it's a biased thing to say, or it is one of the
No,
best.
they are the not maybe the best secondary.
I for a second I thought you were just like, no, it's a biased thing to say, but like, God,
Might be both.
right? But I think when you're talking about this game, like that's what it's going to come down to. I did watch a little bit of their game last week. A lot of check down passes, a lot of swing passes out of the backfield. That worries me because our linebackers aren't super athletic, super fast. So that's going to create a lot of problems, and that's going to cause, if that's the route that they go, is a lot of passes out the backfield that are going to get to the secondary. So it's going to be a lot of tackling in the secondary, which could pose some problems for us. So like if that's how they're going to move the ball down the field. So we'll see on that. But if they are able to force him to actually throw the ball deep and cause turnovers, much like they did last year, I'll feel a lot better about it. And I'm sure that that's kind of where the game plan's going. Actually, I don't want to say that at all because I have no fucking idea how the game plan's going to go because Tim Lewis is a beast and I am nobody. So I'm going to leave that to him. But yeah, I mean, just in terms from like the quarterback position itself, like that's where it seems like that's where they live and die. Now, the other thing that I will say before I kind of pass it off to you guys, Nick Marsh, their receiver, he did not play last year, and I would be remiss not to bring him up and say that he definitely positively scares the absolute crap out of me because he does seem like a dude, and he seems like someone who's going to be playing on Sundays sooner rather than later. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. And the other receiver that I think that is going to cause problems for us is Amari Kelly. Amari Kelly started out at Auburn. That's the other funny thing about the transfer errors. Like we can list off all their previous schools, and it's like a laundry list. But Auburn, Middle Tennessee State, and now he's at Michigan. He had 800 yards for Middle Tennessee last year. I understand that's Middle Tennessee, but he is a bit of a deep threat. He averaged almost 16 and a half yards a catch last year for them. So I think that he is, he's going to be, what Ryan O'Keefe was going to be for us, kind of like the downfield threat, over the top, stretch the field type of guy. So, I mean, there's definitely some weapons to look out for. And if the secondary is able to neutralize them, I think we're going to be in good position. So that's my thing.
So my kind of view on this game is there's a lot of parallels I'm seeing going into this. We talked off the air that I think Boston College and Michigan State are very similar programs and where they sit, not only in their conference, but they also have, power hockey. They have all these different things that are very similar, I think, in where they sit in the college football landscape. But also, even just as far as a football team, this is Bill O'Brien's second year. Okay, this is Jonathan Smith, the head coach of Michigan. It's his second year too. So there's a lot of questions from the fan bases and the team of okay, will they make that next step from last year to this year? And then you're coming off week ones from both of the teams that played lesser opponents. So there's not a lot of confidence where fans can say objectively, this is where they are, and we can answer that question. So they played Western Michigan last week. They won 23-6. Aiden Childs, was solid, but it's not like they put up 66 like BC. But of course, it was like I would say a better opponent than the FCS Fordham. But so there's a lot of like similar things going into this. I think for BC fans, you're looking at this with two keys to the game. One, Brett mentioned, which is the turnover margin. You have Dylan Lonergan going in as a freshman, his first road test ever, his first road start ever, and you're like, okay, he didn't turn the ball over at Fordham. Is he going to turn the ball over, or at least not have a bad turnover on the road? And then you look at Aiden Childs last year. He turned the ball over like 3 times. Should have been 4 or 5 because we dropped a few interceptions. You're hoping with our secondary, that's the battle to watch, is our secondary and Aiden Childs. And then the second key I think you're looking at is that run defense, because Michigan State is a solid run defense. And then BC, which is the number one question going into this game, are we going to be able to develop that run game? So I think those are the two massive things. It's, hey, are we able to develop that run game? If we can't, is Dylan Lonergan going to be able to take care of and manage the game? Because you don't need him to be, reach even close to his ceiling that game. You just need him to manage the game well and not turn the ball over. I think if they do those things, even relatively well, BC, I have a lot of confidence that BC should come out of this, because if you're looking again at that parallel between Bill O'Brien and I'll say his name correct, Jonathan Smith, I think you're thinking, man, Bill O'Brien's a better coach. I'm feeling confident about this. We went to a bowl last year. They didn't. So it's like, I think for me, I'm feeling confident going into this, but yeah. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah. Mac, I agree. Like a lot of those parallels you mentioned, I think that's why Michigan State's opening as a 3.5 point favorite at home. Basically, saying their teams are neutral on a neutral site.
It's a total pick.
It's a pick 'em. Yeah, that's what it is. And you better hope, you're walking. I mean, you're not walking into the big house, or you're not walking into one of those crazy Big Ten stadiums. You're walking into like a really hostile, high level college football environment. You better hope you can establish the run game. You're not just leaving the keys to he looked great on Saturday, but an inexperienced quarterback in his first road start. So I think we're going to know the answer really within the first 3 to 5 plays of that first drive about what kind of game it's going to be and what kind of team we're going to have the rest of the season. And so I think we're going to have a lot of questions answered this game. And I think you really got to find a way to establish some semblance of a run game. And because it seems like we had the pieces like at receiver. We had some good tight end action. We had, the defense I thought looked really good. And, Michigan State's probably thinking Childs has evolved since last year where he's kind of a loose cannon. So they're probably looking for some development there. I'm guessing they kept their playbook pretty vanilla in week 1, the same way we did. So yeah, I understand why it's a pick 'em, and I think both fan bases are going to have a lot of questions answered on Saturday.
Did we talk about how important this game is?
Yeah, that was a nice answer.
Jackie's making sure no 6 and 6 and plus. That's
Dan O'Connor. Yeah. I wish I was as positive as Dan O'Connor.
But Brad,
not many people are.
I think to the biggest point that you're getting at, though, is that I think even for both teams, which is again that parallel with Michigan State, you win or lose this game, like it can swing your season. It's going to swing your season, I think, in a big way. If you go and lose to Michigan State, you look at the rest of the schedule and you're just scratching to find 6 wins and go to a bowl game. You're going to have a lot of trouble almost like getting to there versus you win. And, again, anything's a possibility still. You have potential to even have a special season, start out 4-1 or 5-0. So massive turn here. And as far as where the season can lead to.
Yeah. I mean, I threw up some of my thoughts earlier tonight or earlier this afternoon, just on the, I guess the impact of this game and, really what it means. And, I'll kind of read it out here, but, I wrote, you want BC to win 8+ games this season, you have to beat Michigan State Saturday. Entire season hinges on this game. Matchups like this Saturday, have to be a W if you want to take the next step. Lose, you're looking squarely at 7 and 6, and that's like max, right? this game is going to tell us exactly what this team is. And we've said that ad nauseum, not only on the show, but in weeks leading up to the show. Like the week 2 matchup is going to tell us everything we need to know. If you look at any other team or any other season where either, you can look at BC where they've won more than 7 games, 8+ games. There's always that like swing game that they need to win, right? And if you look at where we've gone 7-6, it's like there's always that 1 or 2 games, one of those pick'em games that we lose. It's like there's really not, and especially in a season like this, where the schedule, there's not any more gimme. There's not a lot of gimmies out there. Like the gimmies are what they are.
It's a
This
perfect
is
game.
one of those games you have to win. Like look, like just for the sake of like BC wins this game, the 8+, Dan wants 10. The 8+ is absolutely on. And I think if you lose this game, like there's your, 7-6 again at best, and it's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, like, dude, you want to be one of these like 8-4, 9-3 teams. Like these are the games like you have to win. If you want to become like the program, if you want to take like the next level, like next step, these are the games you have to win. You have to beat a Big Ten team on the road. Week 2. Sorry. And not for nothing, like this Michigan State team, they seem like they are beatable. It's a beatable opponent. It's not, they're not going into the big house. They're not going into Ohio State. So it's not like a unfathomable thing that they're going up against. Like this is a team that like you should beat, and
I think it's a perfect game to basically evaluate everything, whether that's Bill O'Brien, the program, the players. Like you're going into this game. For me, I just want to like straight up after Saturday this weekend, I'm going to know how right or wrong I am. Like I predicted 9-3. I predict Lonergan can have a special season this year. Like, am I right about that being a potential this year? Or if they lose, I know that I'm at least a year away. And I was wrong, that we're going to have to wait at least. He's going to have to develop this year. And then that's kind of where we're at. So it's like, I'll know that, like, honestly, Sunday when we talk about this, or late Saturday night. And I think for fans, like, that's a little, you're anxious going to this. You're pumped up going into this game. Again, it's not just for our eyes. It's going to be on national television, NBC, millions of eyes going to be locked in on Boston College State.
Yeah.
But like, not only we're going to find out, the country's going to find out where BC and where Bill O'Brien has this program at a second week in year 2. So that's it. It's right there, all on the platter for everyone to see.
Real quick before I let Jack talk, this is the litmus test, right? Like this is kind of like it's like a quarterly review. Like Bill got virtually a pass last year, but even with that, there was, the Tommy turmoil, and then they played well down the stretch with Grayson, and now we're in like where do we stack up now? Like has this team actually gotten better? It's like, or are they just doing things differently but getting the same results? So like let's see. Like this is kind of it's a big freaking game. I'm gonna put it to you that, but Jack, I don't want to. This is you now. I apologize.
No, not at all. I mean, I don't have much to add on top of what I said earlier about kind of how both teams have questions that will soon be answered. I do want to pose a bit of a question because you guys both predicted BC. I think Brett, you said, or Mac, you said 8-4. Brett, you said 9-3, or vice versa.
Vice versa. Yeah.
If this game comes down to, I think it's gonna be a 1 possession game. We're not doing score. We haven't done score predictions yet, but my predictions like 31-28 type game. If we come out on the wrong side of that, does that change your season predictions by more than 1 win? Like from 9-3 to 8-4, for example, if it's given, that kind of
probably.
game.
Yeah.
Or okay.
I'd have to watch the game, but I would say probably, like most likely, that's more than 1 game's win. Yeah.
What about conversely if we come out on top 31-28? Will you
Then
still
I'm
stick to your
where
guns?
I think I'm where I think the team is, and
Gotcha.
Me too.
yeah.
Because that's one of the when I did my prediction 8-4, I believe.
We both
I
have
had Michigan State as a win, and like that was kind of like that was my thought process behind it, like why the season like kind of hinges. Like if you do want to get 8-4, 9-3, it's like you do have to win this game. Like that was one of the
I'll say
ingredients into it.
I'll say one more thing for me, and we'll get into predictions in a second. But if I really, being realistic, still think they're going to go 9-3, I don't think they're just going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game pretty solidly. Like it's not just going to be a one score. It's probably going to be around a 2-score where you're a little more comfortable. If I'm right about them being a 9-3 team, I would think, hey, maybe on national television on NBC they're going to shock a few people as far as, hey, BC, damn, are they a team to watch this year?
Are they legit? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going prediction time?
Yeah, let's predict scores, man.
Prediction time brought to you by Eagles Shop.
That's not Bill.
All right. So let me throw this out first though. So Michigan State went 5-7 last year. They are 1-0 this year. They played Central Michigan. My computer's still loading. They played Western Michigan. They beat them 23-6. Now Western Michigan, if we're being real, they're not great. I mean, they themselves went 6-7 last year in the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not like they're like a good mid-major team. But okay, so they went 5-7 last year. They won 23-6 last week. It's in Spartan Stadium this year. Who wants to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Why don't you take it, Brett? Or
I'll
Jack?
go first. My prediction is pretty much what I said about 3 minutes ago. I think they're going to struggle to establish a run game early, and I think that's going to hinder them in the first half. But I trust Bill to figure it out sort of later in the game. I think both teams are going to be trying things out that might not. It's going to be an ugly first half. I think both teams are going to be trying things out in that first half. I do trust Lonergan to not drive, not put the team on his back, but to stay steady in a hostile road environment. And I ultimately think I trust him to have a steady hand over Childs, who's been proved to be a bit of a wild card. So I'm taking us 31-27, I think.
31-27. Mac, or do you want me to go? I can go if you want.
Yeah, why don't you go, Brett?
Okay. So I liked what you had said earlier, Mac. It lined up with me in terms of a 2-score game. Originally, I was thinking 28-13. I like them in this game, but I'm going to give Michigan State a little bit more credit at home. So we're going to give them 20. We're going to give them another touchdown, and let's get a little bit wild with it. I think we're going to kick another field goal. I'm going Boston College 31, Michigan State 20. So it's a nice 2-score game, nice comfortable game. And we will head back home before we go out to the West Coast, flying high 2-0. 31-20.
Sweet. Okay. So I've been going back and forth on this as far as score predictions.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Pretty solid, kind of similar to you, Brett, as far as like, I think this isn't going to be as close as again. If I'm right, again, Saturday we'll see if Mac's totally wrong. But
we've been wrong plenty of times too.
I think this Saturday we're going to see a lot lower scoring game than people want probably. But I think it's going to be a little sloppy. It's going to be Lonergan's first time on the road, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to manage well enough. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to take away is, man, is this defense legit? I think Tim Lewis is going to dial some stuff up Saturday that he's been sitting on for a while because of the more ability that he has with the secondary and some of these young guys coming into the defense. So I'm actually going to predict that BC holds Michigan State to 10 points. And I think that BC puts up, I was going to say 24, but I'm going 28 points because I don't think they're going to kick field goal.
28-10. I like that.
I'm going 28.
Wow.
That's a 9-3 team that does that.
I think you're gonna start thinking, hey, is Mac right on this? Because that was a nutso take. But I think you're gonna see them hold Michigan State. It's gonna be very low scoring for a while, and I think BC's gonna get a touchdown or something at the end there to make it 28.
A little reverse SMU action there.
Boom.
All right. Let's book it. We'll get that graphic out in a little bit. Tomorrow, whenever. We'll get the graphic out for the people so they can either laugh or laud us. Listen, man,
put it out there, man. We're putting it out there full on.
Sometimes we're right, a lot of times we're wrong, and that's how it goes. And we listen, there's one thing that we've all learned to do in our media careers is we've learned to wear it. When we're wrong, and that's okay. When we're right, you better believe we're taking our victory laps.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Hey, I think this might be the funnest. Now that we've put our predictions in, this might be a fun way to end the show. But I felt even more confident for BC going to this Michigan State game because our third string quarterback beat Alabama this weekend.
Our third string quarterback did beat Alabama.
Yeah.
And you want to know something else? If our first string quarterback was still at Alabama, Alabama would have slaughtered them. Consider that.
These are great takes. Just saying.
Consider that.
I'll
tell you what. There is a lot of text messages coming my way about our former quarterback, and I wasn't thrilled. But you know what? Whatever. Who cares? They won. We won too. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm not overly concerned about it. That is a great way to end it. Do we have any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
My last thought is kind of like the theme of what we've been talking about this episode, which is what's exciting about the beginning of college football every season is that you're basically evaluating. Like these first couple of games, you get to see like how wrong was the media, how right and wrong are the fans, like were these different coaches, whether they're year 1, year 2, year 3, where they're all at. And I'm just looking up at the screen I have in the background here, and you see, Chapel Bill not doing that as better as Chestnut Bill. They're down 41 to whatever.
He's laying a big old dump on his home field right now.
I think this is what's exciting. Like you're seeing at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
You can have a Netflix show, Bill Belichick, but like what happens on the field at the end of the day is the real truth here. So for BC fans, you can't be more excited about, clicking on NBC Saturday night in prime time and watching your boys go out there. And at the end of the day, we're gonna see what this team's all about.
Randy Moss is in attendance too. That's it's not.
Yeah, I saw Kevin Stone tweet that out. I was like,
fucking Michael Jordan's in attendance that game.
Is he?
Front row and center to see Chapel Bill just lay an egg.
Oh God! And the thing is,
22-year-old girlfriend too.
To be honest, it's an embarrassing score right now.
41-14.
And that was a pick'em game. That was like a 3.5-point spread. The exact same spread for BC Michigan State.
It shows you how much really anyone knows about these programs at this point in the year. I mean, TCU, they lost to Colorado last week. So it just shows you. Yeah.
No, did Colorado lose? Or was that this week?
I thought Colorado beat them 45-42.
This season?
Colorado TCU.
Excuse me, or was it Colorado State? Because Colorado lost to Georgia
No,
Tech.
I was thinking, I saw the score come up. It was the previous time they played each other.
Gotcha.
They brought
Yeah.
it up on the broadcast. That was my bad.
Mhm. Even still, another ACC team took down Prime. So
Hey, overall, ACC did really good week 1. I got to say, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to our third string quarterback and a few other people, you know, it was a good weekend overall. And you know, besides this, you know, what Bill Belichick's doing down in Chapel Hill. I mean, I think things are looking up for the conference. So, and again, another showcase this Saturday for chestnutbill.com. You know,
chestnutbill.com. Make sure you get all your merch. Like, buy it. Don't be cheap. Buy merch.
help support this podcast, by the way.
Support the site. Support the podcast. It's not cheap, you know. And the reality of it is all the proceeds go back into this. So
Yeah.
whatever. This all helps. So, you know, and everyone, and I'm going to end it on this. This was actually my final thought. I do want to shout out all the people that have supported. We got a really big amount of orders in for, you know, the first launch. Last year we had a handful. This year we had a lot. So that,
Nice.
you know, that was awesome. That helps. All that money goes back into this show, into the site. So, you know, we can't thank you enough for that. So thank you to everyone who's already purchased shirts and hoodies and all that good stuff. And we're gonna be rolling out stuff as the season goes along too. So keep an eye on that.
And just to better understand, like literally that funding helps us bring better content to you guys. Like, so I have our videographer going out to Michigan State this weekend to film, you know, the game and to get you guys like cinematic content for the fans. So again, this all goes back to you guys. So again, thanks everyone for supporting us.
Yeah, that's all for the people. All right, episode 34 in the books. Michigan State this weekend. We'll see you on the other side. Make sure to follow all of our socials. Mac's been killing it on Instagram. BC Football Fans, Eagles Daily BC, Eagles Weekly BC, YouTube, Eagles Daily. I think it's just Eagles Daily, but it might be Eagles Daily BC. I should probably know that. And then new Twitter, Eagles Daily _BC, because our other one is locked up. But yeah, make sure like, subscribe, retweet, follow, whatever, share, whatever the lingo for whatever platform you catch us on. Continue to do that. And thank you for tuning in. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.